You are valuable, very valuable, and you got a lot to offer this world. God put certain gifts in you, certain skills, a certain level of discipline, a certain level of love. He put all this in you because when he created you, he knew when he put you into this world, he knew what he put in you to accomplish. This is why he said he knew you before you was in your mother's womb. God knew you and your value. Yet these people would not be able to see your value ever. Not for the reasons you think, but they won't see your value because they are mentally challenged. A lot of these people that y'all had issues with growing up, I'm just going to be honest, this is the revelation I got. Y'all had issues because these people had mental illness. A lot of these people did not heal from childhood trauma. And some of these people were your people that raised you, and then people in your community around you. They had a lot of mental issues. And that's one thing we don't discuss, especially in the black community, the Hebrew Israelite community, however you want to say it. There's people that suffer from mental illness in our community. Whatever trauma they faced with as a child, or whatever stuff they was into, they have issues, that where if you were the light to come into the room to help them, they're not going to care about that because mental illness can range from different things. It could be bipolar disorder. It could be a control issue where you feel like you got to control everybody. It could be manipulation. It can be control, narcissistic tendencies. It can range on the spectrum from high to low in different areas. They was never going to see your value. And God is saying, because they did not see your value, you was never going to grow and flourish around them. You couldn't, because you dealt with a community of people where there was lack, poverty, just a lot of toxic environments, a lot of stuff that was negative. I'm talking about negative things, fighting, arguing, people just being wild. And then everybody's miserable and toxic, and all of that energy is in that area. And you were trying to grow up in that and telling God you want to be blessed. This is for some of you. I want to be blessed by you, God, but God was holding up your blessings. He cannot bless you around these type of people. How can God give you blessings around a whole bunch of chaos and mess and people that's not even going to see your value? They feel like you like them because you growing up around them. But you were supposed to grow. God wanted you to grow past that environment, that mentality, that place. And yet these people was going to keep you stuck in it. They were going to hinder you and keep you stuck in it because they never healed from trauma. They never healed from toxic energy. They never healed from the issues of what they went through in life with other people. So they were just going to bring the negativity and foolishness into your life. And God did not want that for you. They suffer from mental illness, suffer from generational curses, and they had opportunities to grow out of this. Don't think that these people never had an opportunity to grow from this. They did. You know what they kept doing to God? They kept slapping God in the face, telling him they want to do it their way. I don't want to live by you. I want to be a baby mama. I don't want to get married. I want to be on Section 8. I want to have a whole bunch of kids out of wedlock, God. But then I want you to bless me with a husband later. After I have all these kids out of wedlock in your sight, now where is my husband? That was for some people. And I'm not judging nobody on the channel, but let's be honest what goes on with people, on why they suffering. They did not make God the first priority in their life. They put God on the back burner. That's for some people. Some of these dudes, I just met a guy the other day, and I'm not trying to put him on blast because I know he's probably watching this video, and if he's not watching it, I just don't want to say no names. But he told me he used to sell drugs, okay? That's another issue. Instead of obeying God, they would rather go out here and sell drugs, these people. Then they mess up their life, get felonies, misdemeanors, in and out of jail, put all this stuff on their record. And it could be reasons why people do that. They start doing that because they were raised in poverty. They mama didn't listen to God. They not, and then they go down here and say, okay, well, I got to take care of the family. Let me go out of here. Let me go sell some dope. Let me go sell some drugs, Let me go do this to keep mama happy because my mom's a single mom. My dad ain't nowhere to be found. So let me go out here and go do what I need to do. Let me join a gang out here. This is what these people do. Let me go join a gang out here. Let me go, rob somebody. Let me do stuff like that because I'm stuck in my situation and I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy and unwell in life. So they'd rather go out and do wrong things instead of right things in God's sight. They'd rather have pregnancies and have kids at 14, 15 years old. Mine ain't even developed yet. And they out there creating more generational trauma, generational curses and things on their life. And they don't honor God in their situation. They're not seeking God, and a lot of times they can't. Why? Because they got people around them that won't let them become a better person. They want to control, manipulate. They can't flourish. They can't do anything. They can't grow into what God wants them to do because they got everybody else in their ear around them. People with crabs in a barrel mentality that didn't make it, didn't do what they were supposed to in life. So their job is to hinder the next person. I don't even deal with people like that no more, y'all, and y'all shouldn't either. But I'm saying all that to say this is why they don't see your value. These very people that engage in these type of activities or just different things that hinder their life progress, a lot of times it makes it turn into mental illness right after that because now they're stuck in that same frame of mind for 20, 30, 40 years. They never grew past it. They never grew past 15 years old in their mind, mentally. They never grew past 17. They didn't accomplish nothing. They sat around, some of them bumming, waiting on people to hand them stuff. They thought they was too cute for their goods, so they thought they could have any female they want, and then they turn out to be nothing in life. And yet, when you bring your value around, they despise you, and they really got some mental stuff they need to deal with and some deep-rooted spiritual issues to make them be better people. But they're not going to be better people around you. This is why God separates his children in different areas of their life. If you notice you're not around nobody that you were around growing up, that's not for everybody, but that's for some of you. God told you to go to a whole different state. Is that you? He told you to go out and away from everybody and the familiar things you once knew. There's a reason for that. Just like it was a reason why God told Abraham, get away from your kinfolks and go to a land that I shew thee. I cannot bless you around a whole bunch of chaos and mess. I have to bless you eventually. You're doing what I asked you to do, so I need you to leave. Leave your father's house, leave your mother's house, leave your kinfolks, leave your community. Go around to a different, whole unfamiliar place. And God will do that in different parts of people's lives. He did it for me, and I'm going to tell you a dream that confirmed it. This is before I moved to Florida. I got this dream, I think it was right before I graduated college. I was still living in Houston at this time. And I don't know if God, the dream was kind of disturbing at that time, but now it's not as disturbing on where I'm at now. And I'm going to explain that. So I want you guys to follow me here. Sometimes when God gives you dreams directly, like spiritual dreams, he's talking to you through the dreams, even though you might not hear his physical voice. So in this particular dream, I believe when I was asleep, I was living in Spring, Texas, and I was going through a lot of stuff that year. I think it was right before 2020. The pandemic hit everything. Before all that hit, I was going through a lot. Family was getting on my nerves. I was going through different stuff. I just didn't know who to turn to or what to do. And I don't know if God must have sensed that, okay, because God sees everything. Ashley, you really being talked about over here in a negative way by people. I know you don't know everything that's being said, but I'm going to put this download on your spirit in a dream, because I need you to do something. And I need you to step out on faith. But at the time, the dream scared the living hell out of me. I'm not going to lie to y'all. This particular dream scared me because I didn't know why I was getting it. They don't see it. All they see you as how they knew you when they saw you. But when I knew you, you was around here chasing this person. You was a little fast in the ass. You know, some people might say that to you. And I had a crossroad on the bridge. You either can go this direction. It was like a street. Or you could go this direction, that street. And I'm just standing there and I'm confused because it's dark, it's late. I don't know where I'm at in this dream. It's like I was in a forest somewhere and didn't know where I was. And there was a lady in the car and she basically shut her door on me. And I said, can you help me? Can you help me? Because I didn't know where I was at, why I was on this bridge by myself in this dark place. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, you know. So I was asking a stranger to help me, and she slammed her door shut and just looked at me and turned forward in her car. And I looked back in the same vision, and there was a child and his dad somewhere, you know, and behind me. And then in front of me, I had the two crossroads. And then immediately I woke up right after that. Like, the dream lasted about 15-20 seconds, but it scared me. And I was like, okay, God, why did I get that? What's going on? Am I going to lose my house? What is going to go on? I don't have nobody to turn to. And my family, they was doing all this during this time. A lot of gossip going on about me. And you know that stuff, once you gossip about people, it hits the spirit realm. So now demons got access to that. The angels got access to that. And now you got all this spiritual warfare because the people word curses all this all day. I mean, just talking. Even if you did make a mistake, they're going to tell your business to other people that really, and just all this negative energy about you. That's what people would do. That's why you got to bind and plead the blood over the word curses that people said in your life. You got to bind all that stuff and send it back to the pits of hell, because that can affect your progress because of the word curses people putting out against you. And it happened to me. But God also had a sense of humor in that dream. Now that I look back from the dream, this was I can't remember year, 2019, 2018, right before 2020. And I did not know 3 years later I was going to be in Florida. Unfamiliar territory around unfamiliar people, unfamiliar places, unfamiliar things. And when I tell y'all this is the happiest time of my life, when I tell you God got a sense of humor, that dream scared me back then because I never took a big leap of faith like that before. And I think God was giving me to make a decision on what direction you want to go, because I want to move you. And you being stagnant in this place while your miserable family already talking about you in your hometown, you don't need to go back there around that foolishness. I'm trying to move you, and you not doing what I really want you to do right now. You staying put and you staying too comfortable in your situation when I want to push you forward. You got to make a decision sometime in your life. You got to move and push. You got to get out of this place that you're in and move and shift and grow. And now that I look back at that dream, it's like, God really does have a sense of humor with his children, because we are not required to be like this in our life. We're required to keep growing and elevating and making life decisions. I'm talking about hard life decisions that only you and God know about, and nobody else have that decision but you to make. What you gonna do? You said you want to do this in my sight, so which direction you want to go down so I can push you into your purpose? And I feel like it happened. Then I dealt with spiritual warfare shortly after that. Then the pandemic hit, and it's like I just got pushed to Florida. Like literally, now I'm here. Now I'm in Florida, and it's like, okay, I don't even know anybody in this place. I don't know anyone, and this is where God got me. And then now the Holy Spirit told me 5 months ago, okay, I need you to set up your ministry. So it's like, we can't put God in a box about our life. God knows your value. He know what he put in you, and he know what he's trying to do, even when you don't know. He know people despise you. He know people with these mental issues. I'm talking about people that's right, that you grew up around. He know they gonna hinder your progress. God already know that. He is so amazing. Somebody say hallelujah. God is so amazing. He knows that people are going to hinder your progress. So he will give you downloads in your sleep on what your next move should be and what you must do, so he can help you get past the hurdles in life and push these obstacles out of your way to thrust you forward into your purpose, in order for you to shine to the person that he wants you to shine into. Now I'm darn near, I have a whole different relationship with God now. I'm like, okay, God, you really just be amazing me. I went through a lot of hell in my life, but you always seem to surprise me. Like he really does just surprise me with how he operates. He said, if you just have a little faith, as small as the mustard seed, I can do great things in your life. I can do great things if you let me, if you just trust me in the process. But I got to remove you away from things, and I got to get you out that place that you're familiar with in order to move you to something higher and greater, in order to grow you and change you and lift you up for the better. And this is what God will do. But yet the people that you were around, they're not going to see that value in you like God's seen in you. They don't see it. All they see you as how they knew you when they saw you. But when I knew you, you was around here chasing this person. You was a little fast in the ass. Some people might say that to you. You was a little fast in the behind. You was a little like this when I seen you, and you was only 15. But now you a woman, now you're like, okay, but I have learned my lessons from that. I have grew. But sometimes people, they're not going to see it. It can be mental illness, or they just don't want to see you. And mental illness don't have to be the things I originally talked about. Mental illness is just that they jealous of you too. They mentally challenged and jealous of you in your light. For some reason, when they get around you in your light, they turning up their nose, they rolling their eyes because it's you. And God said he can't grow you around people that's going to be envious and jealous and mental in their mind about you as a person. Can't see the positivity in you, only looking at you trying to find the negative things in you. They're not trying to seek the positive and jealous. This is how you know these people not it. God wants to move you away from that and bring you around people. Once you see your value, he wants to bring you around people that also see your value in a positive way and not a negative way. This is what God wanted to do the whole time.